Hey you guys, welcome back. I'm so excited to spend some time with you today. So before we get started, hit that subscribe button and then we'll get into it. Okay, so today we are going to be talking about why I said yes to homeschooling, even though I swore I never was going to. And then 3 things that you might be thinking and believing and may actually be the perfect reasons why you should get into homeschooling. So let's get into it. So I was one of those moms who said I would never, ever homeschool. I was raised going to private and public school. And when my husband and I had little kids, he was really the one who said, Janae, we're gonna homeschool. And I was like, no way, because I know that means I'm gonna be homeschooling. And I had literally never envisioned being a homeschooling mom. I had always thought that I was gonna send my kids to school and do the whole school pickup drop off thing. And then my daughter at 3 years old went to preschool. And in that moment, I was like, wow, preschool is cool, but I hated doing the drop off and pickup thing. Can I get an amen from anyone else? So I hated doing the drop off and pickup thing. And then one of my mentors told me, Janae, why don't you just do some research about why preschool actually started? Because I was feeling like I was depriving my child if I didn't put her in preschool. So I started to do some research and I found that the origins of preschool, it was a government funded program for low income families so that moms could go work, bring in extra income for their family, and have a safe place for their kids to go. Oh, and the other thing I learned is that the whole intention of preschool is to foster a home-like environment. That was it. And so when I learned that, I was instantly released of the pressure of feeling like I had to put my kid in school in order for them to learn, to succeed, to grow. So in that time, pulled my daughter from preschool, my husband started his own business. And then the dream really clicked. Our family vision really started to form. And we realized that one of our core values as a family was freedom. As we thought about our kids growing up, we dream of taking them to a foreign country for a month at a time so that they can learn French or Spanish. We dream of traveling with our kids and not being locked into a school system where they literally can't do that because the school system says no. Then Sophie was officially school-aged in the middle of COVID 2020, and that just solidified our decision that we are homeschooling. And it's been a year and a half of homeschooling. We are still totally in the beginning of our homeschooling journey, but the more I homeschool, the more I fall in love with how in alignment homeschooling is for the vision that we have for our family and what we really want for our kids. We want freedom as a family. We want to be able to inform what they're thinking about, what they're learning about, all the context that they have and how they're viewing the world and their opinions of people and systems and who they are called to be is designed for them from the foundations of before they were even born. And we want to be the ones to educate our kids. I've seen so many things where teachers are expressing their thanks to parents for letting them be the ones to shape their children's life. And I'm like, no way, that is my role as a mother. So I want to share a couple things with you. 3 different ideas and thoughts that I want you to start thinking about. Because if you are called to homeschooling, you can absolutely do it. Okay, food for thought number 1. You may be the mom, just like me, who thinks, I could never do that. Why do so many of us think that we could never homeschool, even though there's so many of us who do? And I want to challenge you on that idea. I could never do it. Because guess what? Homeschooling is just like any other skill set, whether it's in business, whether it's in sports, whatever it is, homeschooling is a skill set that you can absolutely learn, that you can enjoy, and that you can flourish in as a mother. I also know that one of the layers in this question of could I actually do it is believing in our ability to teach our kids. What I found is that there are so many different curriculums available, and my favorite is called Open and Go. You literally buy curriculum, and all you have to do to prepare is open the book. I can do that, and if I can do it, I know you can do. So all you do is open the book, then your kid literally learns right there. So there's so many different curriculum styles that are really going to empower you to educate your kids in a really incredible way with taking the pressure off of your own shoulders. So between homeschooling being a skill set and having curriculum to support you as their teacher, the other piece of it is simply working this into your life, managing your home, finding rhythms where you get to school them. And that is just a self-discipline thing. That is like a family discipline thing. But really, it only takes a couple hours a day, not even when they're little, to educate your kids and really cultivate a love for learning in their little hearts and little minds. Okay, food for thought number 2. You may be one of those people who doesn't buy what the system tells them. That's me too. I've grown into that. But here's the thing, just like so many of us these days aren't believing what the system has said, whether it's government, whether it's health industry, whatever voice it is, the education system is one of the systems that is so ingrained in our minds that we can blow the lid off because it's not geared towards true education. Standardized testing, all of that type of stuff isn't actually an indication of learning. So when you homeschool, you're actually going against the system and paving new ways of education and learning. And one of the things that's been challenging for me in my homeschooling journey was this feeling of my kid is always behind. But the more invested in the homeschool community I've become, I've learned, and I've even experienced in my own kids, that the things I felt nervous that they were behind in, they start to capture and grasp really without my effort once they hit a certain age. And learning is so connected to developmental growth. And so the system wants to say that your kid should sit in a chair for 8 hours a day, be able to learn exactly by the book, whatever system that they have put in front of you. But the truth is that if we're gonna really teach our kids to love learning, to think freely, we can also have that freedom of educating and individualizing their learning so that they can really love to think and love to learn. So my encouragement for you is don't give in to the narrative that your kid is behind, or don't give in to the fear that if I homeschool, my kid's not gonna learn anything. Because guess what? They will. And our current education system is not set up for true education. Education comes with freedom of thought, freedom to be creative, freedom to pursue opportunities and do things. Whereas our current system trains kids to sit in a desk 8 hours a day. I don't know about you, but I want my kids to be able to be way more creative and way more free than sitting in a desk for 8 hours a day. And food for thought number 3, you want your children to operate from a place of freedom, creativity, and operating in their gifts. This has hands down been the biggest joy that I have had in homeschooling. I get to sit with my kids. We only homeschool for about an hour and a half every day. And I get to sit with my kids and I get to ask them questions. I get to challenge them. I get to teach them what it means to work hard. I get to see where they're struggling and say, okay, I want you to focus for 5 more minutes and then you can be done with this task. I get the freedom as their mom to encourage them, to challenge them, to increase the belief and know who they are and who God has called them to be. And this is all done within the home. This is all done as they play outside for most of the day. they get to operate from a place of creativity. They get to share their ideas with me as their teacher. They don't have to sit in this confined atmosphere of what someone else says is real education, but they get to be free to pursue passions, pursue calling, pursue hard work and character development, and you get to hold their hand every step of the way. Now, here's a side note. What I also love about homeschooling is that I'm with my kids all the time. And so if I need a break, because mamas, we need breaks sometime, guess what? I can hire a babysitter to go get my nails done. I can ask my husband to watch the kids for a little bit so I can go grocery shopping for a little bit or get a massage. Things that really fill my cup again. I don't feel any mom guilt because I'm with my kids all the time. They get access to me so much that there's so much freedom for me to go do the things that I love, work a little bit, have my cup filled up because we're not lacking in time together. So I want to know where you're at. Are you a mama who has little kids and you're trying to figure out what to do with them when they become school aged? Are your kids in school and you're trying to figure out, oh my goodness, what if I want to homeschool? What does that transition look like? Are you a homeschooling mama who wants friendship and community and to know she's not alone? You're not alone. There are so many different places that all of us are, and I just want you to share where you are in the comments so that we can encourage you and that your story can be a blessing to us too. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button so we can be on the journey together. Love you guys.